Alrighty, let's take a look at this question. So we have a log base 3 of that big mess, and they want us to express the expression as a sum or difference of the logarithms. So we're using our logarithm laws from your formula sheet, and one of them says if you're multiplying within a log, you can write it as adding two separate logs. And if you're dividing within a log, that's the other one we're going to use. It's the same as subtracting two separate logs. So we have multiplying going on top. So we're going to split that up into log base 3 of cube root of 81 plus, because we're multiplying by the a to the 6, so log base 3 of a to the 6. And then because the b plus 1 squared is in the denominator being divided, we're going to use our logarithm law of subtracting the log base 3 again of b plus 1 squared. So technically we've written it as the sum or difference of logarithms right now, but they might want us to go a bit further. So that first one, we could actually get a number for that because 81 could be written as 3 to some exponent, which is the same basis on logarithm. Now, question whether we should go that far. Yeah, I mean, let's do it. I mean, they're probably not going to mark it wrong. So 3 to the 4 is 81, and then the cube root would actually make that to the 4/3. That may be a lot for one step. Let me just change that a minute. So we'll do 3 to the 4, and then we'll keep the cube root. We'll come back to that on the next step. Okay, now the second term, we could use another logarithm law that states if you have an exponent on something that is inside the logarithm, that exponent can move down front. So let's do that. Let's change that to 6 log base 3 of a. And we'll do the same thing with the last term. That 2 is going to move down front. So 2 log base 3 of b plus 1. Okay, back to that log base 3 of the cube root of 3 to the 4. If we can write the cube root of 3 to the 4 as a power, so 3 to the, now a radical is the same as a fraction exponent, and what root it is goes to the bottom of that fraction. So it would be 3 to the 4/3 plus all of this is the same. And then there's one more thing we can do with that first term. If now the bases are the same, so we have base 3 and then base 3 on the power inside the log, then that whole thing would equal the exponent of 4/3. So that first term can just reduce to 4/3. So we'll have 4 over 3 plus all the rest of it. Now, debatable whether you should change that to a number because they did say express as a sum or difference of logarithms. So, sorry, that looks like there's a negative there. That's an equal sign. So you could leave it as the step before if you want, or you could write it as 4/3. Alrighty, I hope that helped.